happening?
Right.
You got a good gaming headset on.
What's up, What's up, King?
What's up, dog? How you feeling?
I'm gonna show you our fashion line. We'll go back and get my
Thanks for having us.
I'm full fashion line.
Uh-oh.
We're doing the whole thing.
Uh-oh. Yeah, this look like my mama garage.
Yeah, that's why I
Come on.
want you to see it. Yeah.
Fire.
We do everything in house.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Yes, sir.
Y'all got a hoodie y'all can buy?
Hey, we gonna bless you with a whole bunch of.
I need it now, though. I'm freezing. Got one for me. What's up, dog? How you feeling?
So this is our main A&R for Kingmakers Music.
Fire.
Main artist on our album Black Love that we dropped on Even. So
what you know?
Look, we seeing numbers. Hey, so our film department.
Y'all got them good headsets on. Who y'all talking to in there?
Hey, when you see us, we fully set up, man. So we do our own green screen, podcast, everything.
Uh-oh.
All in house.
Yeah. Come on.
Just want y'all to just so you know where you at.
Fire. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
wow.
So this B-room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Genitex.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. And we got every mic you need. What's that mic you said you like?
Y'all ain't got that mic.
What's that mic you said you
Y'all ain't got that mic. The Elam 251? Y'all ain't got that mic. You ain't got that mic. You ain't got that mic. You ain't got that mic.
Hey, so this Bob and Chris.
What's up, brother?
What's up, King?
How you doing, man?
I'm honored to meet you, King.
Love,
That's
gratitude.
with your presence.
Come on, yeah.
No, you come on, man. Yeah, no, I got to at the Juneteenth festival. I didn't know who this brother was. Everyone talking LaRussell. When he came, I mean, man, there were thousands of people.
What Juneteenth fest?
At the lake.
A couple years, yeah.
That's when I first learned. My sons knew about you, but you know, I'm a little older.
Yeah.
But man, just shining, man, and keep blazing. Thank you for blessing us with your presence, though.
Gratitude, man. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So thank you.
When we get down to Kingmakers of Oakland, man, you family. We operate out of love.
That's right.
We center our work in black boys. Here, black boys get preferential treatment. They get love.
Yeah.
Right. They safe in a brave space. You see all the departments that we have. We also do school delivery as well too. Do a lot of events. Ultimately, we'll have a camp where you'll come out to the camp and do some healing and health and wellness as well too. All for our community. Man.
Fire.
That's what we do.
I love it. Hey, what's happening? Come on, hello. What's up, y'all? What's up, dog? I'm here.
See, brother. Yeah, right there.
What's happening? What's up with you?
How's everybody doing?
Hello. What's happening?
All right, we're about to get ready to lock in. How's everybody feeling? The sounds you were listening to is the Black Love album that is out right now on Even. Definitely go cop that. It is a blessing to see everybody in the house. Check your mic for me one time. I got a beat up if you want to really check it. If you really want to check it. If you really want, we can both check it now.
I'm finding my purpose, avoiding the serpents. It's deeper than water beneath the surface. But damn it, I'm searching, avoiding them churches. Float water, I can spit out an urchin. I turn to a surgeon, I'm probably purging. I'm proud to be urban, I've been finding my way to the day that I meet Kanye, or the day that I meet Andre. 3K getting cake on 3-way, and they gave me the game. Nah, I'm getting.
Oh, that mic is ready. We love that.
Come on.
It's a lot of MCs in the house. There will be a Cypher at the end today. MCs, raise your hands, make some noise one time. Oh, it's Lions in here today. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Peace and respect, y'all. My name is Brother Jahi, live and direct from KOO Labs right here in West Oakland. Make some noise for yourselves for being in the house today. This is inside KOO Studios, where we get up close and personal with legends, with those who are making change, who are really doing positive things in the community and world. We are happy to have this king in the building. We are ending our first series. Before we introduce the king, I want to bring up Baba C, who is the CEO and founder of Kingmakers of Oakland. Can we give him some love one time as he sets the room?
Just want to say greetings and welcome. I want to thank Brother Jahi for his vision. I want to thank LaRussell for his love, light, and genius. Kings, just look at this king, man. He's the manifestation of all things are possible. For all the younger, older brothers and sisters that are here, man, this is what it's all about, these young kings. So just thank you for taking the time out of your day to bring a younger king here to be blessed with the presence of LaRussell and Brother Jahi. So I don't have anything else to say, but thank you, and I'm out.
All love, all love. Born in Vallejo, California.
Oakland.
Oakland? You born in a town?
You heard?
Where in Oakland?
East Oakland.
East Oakland. Represent Vallejo still,
You heard?
though, right?
Yeah.
You a son, you're a father, you're an entrepreneur, you run a company called Good Company. You are a motivator. You're an inspiration.
Come on.
You bar heavyweight champion.
Come on.
You have put out over 30 albums, which I consider, as you said, timestamps of your life.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's make a round of applause for Brother LaRussell in the house. How you doing, King?
I'm well.
You were here once before
Yeah.
when it was Zoo Labs.
About twice before.
Okay. Well, look, I want to let you know, first and foremost, you home now. I know you record everywhere you are in the world, but you ever come to the town in West Oakland, you home any given time.
Come on.
So what we like to do is we want to have this eye-level conversation with you. And here's what I've noticed. People start the conversation, they start asking about what you did and how'd you do it. But we want to back up and we want to know more about you and who you are. Quincy Jones made this quote. He said, your music will never be more of a reflection than you are as a human being. And so I think what we see is a manifestation of you as a human being. So I want you to first take me back to 8-year-old LaRussell, who lived in Vallejo and started rhyming at 8 years old. Tell me about that time. Tell me what inspired you? Why didn't you DJ or do graffiti writing? Why was it MCing first?
My sister, really. We used to have this like old school boombox, and she used to just like rap over the songs. Like "Nuck If You Buck" was the song specifically I remember.
Okay.
And she was rapping over it, and I just thought it was tight. And she was like, "You should write something." So I wrote something, and I remember my cousin and my mom was in the kitchen chilling that day, and we went in the kitchen and just rapped it for them. And the response was just like, y'all tight. And I think that's enough energy to kind of propel you to your next phase.
Just that immediate inspiration. And also the confirmation. Somebody said you sound good. Because if she would have said you was horrible, cut it out.
I'm the type of kid where if you would have told me it was horrible, I probably would have went and did something harder and came back. You feel me?
That's right. And so then you go to Vallejo People's High School.
Yeah.
And at that high school, tell me about, at that time, you said reading wasn't interesting when you was in high school, but you still was rapping during that time. So talk about from 8-year-old to now in high school, like how did you keep that motivation of being an MC?
I went to Jesse Bethel High.
Okay.
And then I wasn't like doing well there, so I ended up going to People's, which was a continuation school, which is where I graduated from. But yeah, I was in middle school. I started making beats and recording music. Like probably like 6th or 7th grade. One of my homies used to come to school every day with headphones on, and he used to be like, "You gotta listen to this." It used to always be Lil Wayne. So I go home and download a bunch of Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne was like my first experience of like bars where I could understand like, oh, he said this and it meant this. You feel me? And that just kind of excited me. I remember I used to come from school every day, and I used to get on the computer and like research like top 100 bars, and I study all the greats before me and they bars and what they wrote.
And using LimeWire to download.
You heard? Come on. Pirate Bay, all that. You feel me? But that was like my interest sparking, and I start writing, and I was finally able to get into a studio. One of my best friends, my neighbor, his dad had a studio downtown. So me and the homie went over there, and he taught me how to record and how to like say my lines and how to enunciate and how to put emphasis on certain lines. And I liked that experience. And I remember he printed it to a disc for me so I could go back home and play it. Man, being able to hear yourself come out the radio as a kid is like, it's a one-of-one experience. And man, prior to that, I was on YouTube and I ended up finding a video of Kanye West producing. And I wanted to produce after that. And my sister boyfriend at the time downloaded FL Studio on my computer. And I started making beats every day. I put the homie on, show him how to make beats. We used to come home from school and try to record on the laptop. And it just kind of grew from there. You know, it was just those steps and it kept growing.
Man. Your childhood home now is your concert spot.
Yeah.
Office. I think I saw you at a studio in your child bedroom.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about your mother and father in particular. I think we were talking a little bit backstage about what your father did that you could share in terms of being a video man for the community. I saw something where you said, whatever we said to our mom, she was like, I'm down. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. Talk about what it means to be in your childhood home and what that was like growing up and how that influenced who you are today.
Man, I grew up like ghetto fabulous. You know, like we were still in the hood and like my family is hood, but my pops was a hustler. So we used to have stuff that the rest of the block didn't have, you know, like the electric scooters came out and we'd have it. And, you know, so we was outside, but we was always like the party house. Everybody had kind of come. When the fights would come on, our house was full. All of my homies used to come to our crib. So it was kind of like just immersed in culture. You know, my mom, I used to wake up some mornings and my mom would be watching like the Up in Smoke DVD. It's like concert footage of Dr. Dre and them. Or she'd be watching Eminem and then performances. Like, you know, you could just walk into my house at any time and kind of experience culture through the music or through what's going on and what's happening. If it's a party, it was just, I was immersed in it from the jump. So that's why my music and who I've become is just, it's a melting pot of all of those experiences.
Yeah. You mentioned somewhere I read you said your spot was the party house and it was soul, funk, R&B, and hip hop.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what was the soul, what was the funk, what was the hip hop. So the party house is Friday.
Yeah.
Who's playing the music?
My mom and my pop.
Okay, so is it vinyl? Is it CDs?
This was CDs. We used to have towers.
Oh, remember the tower?
Like we all in black households had them big glass cases with a bunch of different stereos in them. Only one of them worked. But yeah, we used to have towers. That was the dopest thing for me as a kid. I remember I used to when I finally got to a certain age, I used to just sit there and go down the tower and like pull CDs that I wanted to listen to and try, and that's how I heard E40 in a major way. You know, I had a lot of albums that I was able to come into and pop into my radio and be like, dang, you feel me? So just being immersed in music and everything from oldies, from Marvin Gaye and Otis Redding and all of them all the way forward to Hove. You know, Hove was big at the time. Busta Rhymes. My pops used to have a Suburban with a bunch of beat in it. And we used to ride to like the skating rink and stuff. And, you know, it was a bunch of us when I was kids. I got 3 sisters and then all of my cousins was around too. So we used to pile up in the back of the Suburban and you got to duck down, you know, because you ain't supposed to be back there. But just that whole ride, just feeling the bass and hearing the music that was playing and just being immersed in that, it was like an experience.
That really means something to me because you love the culture of hip hop.
Yeah.
I just really it's really important for young folks to hear that we're not talking industry stuff. We're talking culture.
Yeah.
We're talking about the feeling of the music, the communal aspect of it. You being a student of it. I know you talked about Lil Wayne, but Ye, Nas, Jay, like to have that, there's a sensibility around your love for culture that really shines through in everything that you do and all the content we'll get to later. But I really wanted to situate a little bit more around the culture piece. And what is it about? So coming out of R&B, funk, soul, hip hop, you got the boom box, you having this, some people would say that's just a cool little hobby that I would do. But for some reason at a very young age, you took it seriously. And so I want to kind of talk a little more about that, because that's really, the culture is where the values, morals, principles, the study of the craft, the respecting the craft really lives. And for you to be in that time space, was it the neighborhood? Was it your parents? Was it just you found your own self-determination? Like, what was it that got you in that space so young?
I didn't really take it serious young. I just enjoyed it so much that I did it all the time. But it wasn't like, I didn't think I was trying to make it or think I could be successful. I never knew or realized the people on TV was like real. I thought they was just like, you think Michael Jackson is just like Michael Jackson. You don't think it's somebody you could walk past in the street. So it was never a serious thing to me. Like, I never walked around as a kid saying I'm going to make it and be successful in music. I didn't think that was real. It was just a hobby. But I enjoyed it so much, I did it, as much as I could.
Yeah, but there was a love there from the beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about you became a father at a young age.
Yep.
And so what I also love is that as much as you post, I don't see your child.
Yeah.
Like, you protecting that, which I love and respect that. But can you just talk to us about your initial steps of being fatherhood and what that journey has been? There's some young kings in the room that are soon to be fathers. Some of us are fathers. Because if I understand it correctly, you became a father and then you start taking various jobs. But while you had these jobs, you still were like releasing things under, what was the name? Toda?
Yep.
Right? Every now and then you would still drop things, but you knew you had responsibility. So talk to us about that journey and really, this is not a toxic word the way I'm saying it, but it's like you manned up in that and was like, okay, I got to really handle responsibility. So share something about that experience.
Man, it was a tough experience because there was like nothing in no part of me that wanted a child. So I really had to come to a state of acceptance as I grew. And I knew I had to be present and still be there, because there's not a piece in me that can walk away or neglect anything that's mine or my responsibility. But it took me a long time to embrace being a father. At first, I was just showing up because I felt like I had to, not because I get to. You feel me? So as I grew older, that energy kind of started shifting because I started growing as a human and as an adult. But initially, I wasn't delightful about the experience. It was a lot of emotion behind me. Like, it was almost conflicting. I didn't even want to be around her mother a lot because I felt like she was taking something from me, because I was unaccountable in my own actions. But as I grew, it became something that was really like a blessing, because it gave me more reasons to just thrive and live and to be better and to like show someone what's possible and tangible. And, it's doper now that I'm older and my daughter is older, because we get to like really talk. I've never talked to her like a child. We always talk the same way me and you talk like this. We've always kind of spoke as humans together. And it's dope. We had a conversation one time and I was explaining to her like, I'm your father, but I'm a human and I'm learning as you're learning. And we're both walking in this journey together. She's been in a really hybrid position because she's seen me broke and have nothing and not be able to provide and give this, to being able to have a completely different life. So she's seen me earn my living from where we was. So it's been really dope to just grow as a human with someone watching.
Man, let's give him a round of applause for that. Let me look at my notes, because there was a story that I saw that you were working at an aerospace company. There was a woman from Singapore who dropped a book on you that you live in that right now, because I actually read half of the book earlier today. And the name of the book was called Freedom Simplified. It's by Doug Powers. And it's a Buddhist text it's from the Buddhist Text Translation Society, but it talked about the idea of karma. Mm-hmm. Karma is a structure of thoughts, ideas, and emotions. It talked about mindfulness. And so when I saw some interviews you had, you mentioned that, they went right back to the others. I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Because mindfulness, karma, being centered meditation is really vital to our life and to our life force. And I really haven't heard you talk a lot about what you said. That book kind of opened you up in a lot of ways. I really want to go deeper in that. How did it open you up, and the gratitude that you got for getting that at your time in life?
That book is the reason I started reading again. Like, that was the first thing I read up to that point in my life that intrigued me. All throughout school, when I had to read, it was a bunch of stuff that was like based around the schoolwork or historic text that just, it wasn't intriguing to me. You feel me? It wasn't interesting. That was the first time I read something that like altered my perspective on life. I was really living in a diluted state because I didn't understand the strength of my actions. I didn't understand karma at that time. I didn't understand what mindfulness was at that time. I was kind of just maneuvering my life with the knowledge that I had got from the neighborhood, you know, and whatever I've learned, but I didn't understand anything beyond what you're kind of taught growing up. So reading that was just like it opened my world up completely, like to where I started questioning certain things that I would do and other people would do and why people do certain things. And shortly after reading that book, I had ended up doing a mushroom trip, and it was like a mental explosion. You know, it opened everything up a bit more. And after that, I started kind of talking to my mom more and just kind of seeing humans different and understanding people differently and why they do the things they do and how they do what they do. So that book was really like a foot in the door for me, you know, and it came from someone, like, her name was Rita at the job, and she couldn't really speak English that well. She had broken English, but she was really, really smart. So, you know, I started off at that job on the work floor, and I ended up learning all the systems. So I was able to move up to like an administrative floor. And up there, you know, it ain't black people up there. It's mostly just about all white people, you feel me? And I was the only one up there with no degree. One of the only few black people up there. And she was kind of like an outlier as well because she was foreign and couldn't speak English that well, but she was super smart, so they needed her. So I used to just start chopping it up with her, and she was super intelligent. Wow. And she ended up putting that book on me, and it was just like, it opened everything.
Mm-hmm. And yeah. And so talk about how you use mindfulness today in this day and time. I love the fact the morning stroll that you do. A lot of us walk. Baba C walks. I walk. I normally do 4.2 3 times a week. Even in our staff meetings, before we start, we ask, what do we do for our mental health? And we talked about, you know, some of us meditate, some of us walk. So talk a little bit about how you're using mindfulness now.
Now I use it just throughout my journey, especially when I'm dealing with people or situations that used to kind of rock me and shift the boat. Like, now I'm in a state where it kind of take a lot to rock me. You know, I can experience a lot before I'm bothered by it. I'll laugh at something before I'm bothered by it. You know, even situations where sometimes I would respond a lot quicker in a different manner now. You might not even get a response from me, you know, unless it's a laugh, because it's just like, I'm not willing to sacrifice myself for someone else's benefit, you know, in certain regards. So even answering questions, you know, sometimes I'll take a while before I answer because I really be trying to think about, you know, what I was asked and what you're trying to tell me. But really, the best practice for me of my mindfulness is responding to the world around me.
Beautiful. And is the walking helping?
For sure. Yeah, the walk is the best thing ever, because it's like, if you got an issue going on in your world, generally by the time you get back home from that walk, it's gone.
Talk that talk.
If it's not gone from the walk, then you got to hop on the bike. And then by the time you get done from that bike, it be gone. But a lot of issues, like, I noticed a lot of things I would encounter when I was younger that'd beat me down. I could have just walked it off, but I didn't even have that knowledge or experience to know, man, just go take a stroll and then come back to it and see if you still feel the same way about it.
3 years of hard work and grinding, a culmination of preparation and timing, kitchen conversations, album release signing. God, strike me down if I'm lying.
Still here.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of my favorites, but that's one of my favorites. You went in on that. So 2018, the Field Effect.
Yeah.
That changes everything.
Yeah.
There's a battery pack that happens with LaRussell in 2018. Is the Breakfast Club after that or before that?
Everything's after that.
The Field Effect process now as an MC. At what point in time did you realize, okay, I'm about to do this album. I've titled it Field Effect, and now I'm in the process? Because a lot of us as creatives, even I'm thinking about Quincy Jones, RIP, so I'm just bringing him in the room. He says a lot of times, you got to create, but then you got to leave the door open for the creator to come in, right? Because as an MC, I'm an MC myself. I know there's points where I feel like I'm not writing, I'm a conduit. It's coming through me. And then you start feeling a sense of, and I think looking at Zoe 1, it's like you feel a sense of responsibility of this music to get it out of you, and then how it could help and how it can transform lives, not only just your own. Talk to us about the process of the Field Effect. Like, did you record it in your childhood home?
That's all in the bedroom.
That's all in the closet.
Everything, yeah.
Talk to us about your process around that.
Man,
2018.
Field Effect was like my first step towards creative liberation. Prior to that, I will always put out like joint projects or mixtapes, or I would work with some of the homies because I was scared to kind of like present my art as mine. I wasn't fully confident in my ability to where it was like, this is my thing. So I would always just partner with somebody and release projects jointly. And Field Effect was at a time where it's just like, I didn't really have no hands to hold no more creatively. It was like, bro, you got to go if you want to release something. Nobody's moving at the pace that you want to move or how you want to move. So it's either you going to jump or, you going to stay there and wait for somebody to come save you. And I remember making that project. And at that time, like, my parents didn't even know I was serious about music. Like, my pops used to kind of walk past the door, but he never actually heard my music. You feel me? Because I had took a long time from releasing music to just making music because, like I said, I wasn't super confident in my craft. So when I dropped Field Effect, it was really like a shock to everybody. Like, bro, you've been sitting on this. And I remember just like the motion after I dropped it. Like, people from high school start tapping in and was like, bro, this is crazy. We've been waiting, because I used to battle in high school and I kind of just went blank after that. I just stopped releasing stuff. So people was kind of waiting to see what would happen. And I remember one day my pops had gave the CD to the UPS driver. Our UPS driver is cool. He's from the block. He's always be there. And I remember I'm out in the garage one day and he pull up and he hop out the truck. And he like, what is this you gave me? And I didn't even know my pops gave it to him. But, man, he just started going in. It was like this, giving me the spiel. And it was like a bunch of spurts of confidence coming from that. And I remember I was like, man, I'm going to do a show, because just the energy around the community felt good. I was like, I'm going to find out how to rent a venue and I'm going to do my first show. And around that time, I start getting like doubtful, because it was like a 300-cap venue. And I'm like, man, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I'm still working at the time this whole time.
People that's going to pull up.
Man. Exactly. And I remember that's when I had did like that first trip. I was with my daughter's mom and we was playing dominoes and we ended up going for a walk. And as I'm walking, I'm just like in this zone and I hear the intro to the album like distantly. And I'm like, I thought I was tripping because I was tripping. And I end up looking. It was real. It's a car going past and it's playing the intro of the album. And this is like 2018 streaming was popping, but it wasn't like pop. Like anybody who was playing that album then, you got it from us. We're like hand either my pop, it was hand to hand. No DSPs, so they driving past and you can hear the intro just like it's like loud, and when you're on shrooms, everything is amplified. So it was just kind of ringing, and I remember just jumping. I was just jumping. It felt like I won a Grammy. You feel me? Because that's like the indicator coming up, like. you ain't really popping until you hear it outside. If other people ain't playing it, it ain't really out there. You feel me? So when I heard it, I just start jumping and I'm screaming, I'm running towards the truck, right? I'm like, yo, that's my song. That would look. Took off. You feel me? And it was like a whirl. The shroom brought me back to reality of like, man, you're a speck in this world of humanity. Like, though this moment is big, you still don't forget how big you are. And it was like a really, really humbling experience, but it just gave me the confidence to carry on. And it was like, man, I'm finna do this show. You know, and it just, after that, it just start trailblazing. Things just start connecting.
Kingmakers, disclaimer, we're not promoting mushrooms for any young kings in here. Do your homework and research. But what I really am hearing is the act of doing unlocked your confidence. You had to do the record, and if the confidence came on the other end, you could have talked yourself out of it. You could have been like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Your pops could have just kept walking past your door and not really see what was good, but it's the act of you went through the process to do it.
That's the power of action in any form. Like, even if you miss, when you act, you get all the information you need to do it better. Yeah. Like, if I step on the court and I never shoot, I'm never going to learn how to be a great shooter. But if I step on the court, even if I miss the first 100, I'm going to learn how to eventually shoot better and lock in and get better, but you have to go through the act of doing it. Like, you can't sit and procrastinate and think about it all day and, oh, when it comes, it's going to be this. You really got to start like, I'd rather put out an unfinished idea than have something sit forever and it never comes to fruition because I'm trying to make it perfect.
Powerful. I think I saw something Deion Sanders said, you know, we always looking for perfection, but we just need presence. We just need to show up and be able to do that. So that confidence matters because, I mean, after that, I don't even know where to go. It's so many projects after that.
Yeah, 35.
I mean, 35 right now?
Yeah.
35. And how many songs on each of those projects?
Between 7 to 20.
And so so I know you write on your phone because I see that's how it normally comes on your phone. But talk to, again, MCs are in the room, MC process. Beat comes up, you on your phone, you got your verse, you spit the verse. Normally you be doing one takes. I'm like, I don't even see no cuts and edits.
I do the whole song in one take.
You be like, blap, the whole thing, right?
Hook, bridge, everything.
Now, from the moment you do that to the moment you perform it, talk to us about the process of your memory to be able to get that and rock it live.
Repetition. I really, the thing with me being, you know, I know a lot of people punch in now, so it's like different processes, but I still write every song. So I activate so many senses doing it that it's easy for me to remember it because it lives in me. So like when you write something, that's one sense. Once you writing it, like you put in feeling to it, so your body remembers that feeling, and then you got to see it on the paper or on your phone. That's another sense activator. Your body just remember it, and then you got to say it. That's another sense activator. Your body remember it, and then you performing it, and then during that mixing phase, you listening to it. That's another sense. So by time I'm done with it, you know, I've heard it so many times, and it's lived in me because I've repeated it, trying to get it. You know, like it'll be my 10th time hearing it or experiencing it by the time I get it laid down. And then by that time, it's kind of living with them, especially if it's a song I love. It just naturally happens. And I've rehearsed more than I've ever played.
Let's talk about that. Did you rehearse when there was no dates on the calendar?
Yeah.
How long?
Yeah.
How long did you rehearse with no date?
I'm
saying this for the MCs in the room because if you waiting for your gig before you start rehearsing, you already behind.
Because you don't know when your gig gonna come. I literally came in here, picked up a mic, and you was like, there go a beat, rap. Some people can't rap because they ain't practiced enough. They wouldn't even have the confidence to start rapping in that situation because they know they haven't put in the work to do it.
That's right.
As soon as I decided I was gonna do my first show, I went and bought a speaker, I bought a mixer, and I bought a microphone. I've been rehearsing since then.
And how long do you rehearse for a set?
Until I'm done.
Ain't no clock.
Sometimes it go 2-3 hours until I feel like I'm done and I feel good. I just go, you know. And I didn't get my first like book shows until like 2021. I've been rehearsing since 2018.
Well, it's paying off. It's paying off, King. Like on everything, the live shows, the way you strip it down, where you had a violinist.
Yeah.
I mean, you be all in the crowd in the back row, turning it up, but it's like what I feel like we're seeing in terms of karma, thinking about, because you also talked about Indian mysticism. You kind of got tapped in a little bit as well too. And what we're seeing is, again, karma can be negative or positive. We seeing the karmatic.
Neither.
Karma
is neither.
neutral. It's in the hands of the user that it becomes positive or negative, right? But your karma is showing on stage. The energy, the engagement, the freedom. And that's what I really wanted to get to, because I know we can get industry and you can talk about metrics and ads and things like that. But what I really want to get to is around the idea of freedom. Is that you are experiencing freedom. It's obvious on stage.
Yeah.
And not just in what you do. It seems like it is becoming who you are. So I just want you to talk a little bit about the aspect of working on your craft, believing in yourself, having confidence, and putting yourself out there, and how it's produced freedom for your life.
Man, I've achieved freedom by becoming really great at my craft. Like putting in them 10,000 shots. Like the reason Jordan could jump and stick his tongue out, you know how good you got to be to stick your tongue out in the middle of the play? Like you got into the point where you're no longer have to focus on executing the shot. You ever seen somebody trying so hard to do something, and it's because they haven't got to that point to where it comes with ease yet. Like ease is literally from you doing something so many times that it takes you, it's effortless now. You feel me? It looks like you're exerting no effort, but that's just because you exerted so much effort for so long to learn it. And we've gotten to that point live to where like I don't have a set list when I perform live, because I was getting bored. Like I knew what was coming, so I started getting bored. I literally just started telling the DJ, play anything, and I'm going to just figure it out. You know, and it got to that point because we played so much that I got to figure out ways to have fun. Otherwise, I just kind of get bored with the process of it.
Yeah. Fun is important. I mean, if you
necessary.
I mean, if you came this far and you can't have fun, then what is it, right?
Go home.
Time check. Okay, good. We in a good place. All right, LaRussell. OG to new G, I have a challenge for you. I heard in an interview where it said that on your journey, you start realizing that maybe I'm not going to use the B word to refer to women. Right? Is that true? Yeah. Have you been consistent with that?
I think slightly.
I like slightly.
Yeah, I think slightly. I've improved, yeah.
So I see some nods, so that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
I think I've improved all the way. Like even, you know, I even the amount of cursing I do, like sometimes we'll laugh because I write a song and I'll be like, bro, it's clean. And I wasn't even trying to make it clean. Like I've just got into the point, like I slowly try to improve it as I go. You know, I don't talk about sex too much or drugs too much or any of that. Like I really try to be as clean as I possibly can be. And not to make it on radio or none of that, but just because like after you do so many experiences and you meet so many humans and you see these little kids coming up to you and shit, it's like I try to give them things that they could participate in as well, but I'm also human, you feel me? And I'm always going to show up as a human. Like I was telling you back there, I'm like, I know y'all don't want me to cuss, but sometimes it happens, and I'm a human, and that's never going to change, but I try to do my best to deliver something that everybody can consume.
Mm-hmm. And I think the human experience, what we talk about transformation from boyhood to manhood. When we think about transformation, you think about Malcolm. Malcolm didn't become El Hajj Malik El Shabazz first. He was Detroit Red first.
Yeah.
He was Malcolm Little. He was Satan for a while. So he went through and every time he went through a transformation, not only did he gain new knowledge, but he also let things go.
Exactly.
And so here's what a black mother told me at the grocery store when I told her, is she in here? She not here. When I told her, I said, yeah, you know, we do these shows, and I got the young King LaRussell. She said, LaRussell? Yeah, he in my household. My 13-year-old like that, right?
Yeah.
She said, but I want you to ask him, can he stop using the N-word?
That's hilarious.
That's what she said. And I said, well, I'm going to ask him. I know why. I know we use it as a term of endearment. I understand that it can be an exclamation point on nice bars as well, too. But it made me think about, have you ever seen Richard Pryor in the red suit live on the Sunset Strip? Have you seen that? All right, so as a barber, I'm about to give you some homework. I want you to look up Richard Pryor. He talks about when he went to Africa. And he said he was in Africa for 3 weeks, and he realized he didn't see no N-words, and he didn't use it. And then he flipped on the moment and said, I'm never calling black folks. I'm never using that again. Now, I'm planting a seed right now because you are human. You got a freedom of expression. Even with the N-words, yeah, after a while, I got to mute sometimes, but I still get the message and the meaning of what you're doing. But I'm going to give you that healthy challenge because I will say this, the world is watching. The world is watching and the world is listening. And I would say for young people, right now, you're a bright light. And I don't want anything to impede. I want you to be as human as you are, but at the same time, you are a bright light. And I never want somebody to feel like, I'm not going to listen because of that. I want them to still be able to listen. So I'll just put that out to you. I just want to know what you think about that.
I'm gratefully decline your challenge. But the day that I feel like, you know, it's malicious and I'm doing it in a way that doesn't feel conducive or natural to me, and I feel like I'm plaguing my people by doing so, then I will stop. But I truly don't feel like I ever put out a message that's malicious to my people or detrimental, or I don't feel like there's any kid that has heard one of my songs of mine and felt negativity towards it because of something I said in it. So I'm a decline on that one. You know, when that's just one day it may wean out, but I grew up, you know, my mama called me a nigga my whole life, and I never felt no malice towards it. I don't feel how white people feel towards it. You feel me?
No doubt.
But if the time ever comes where I'm like, I don't like it, then maybe. But for now, you know, I don't. It's different than like when I used the B word or something because I know my intention behind it and what I'm saying behind it. But when I say the N word, it never has that. It never leaves that connotation with me. But the day it starts, I will.
Man, that's still game and wisdom. I appreciate that.
For sure.
So when I see her in the grocery store again, I'm going to tell her what you said.
Yeah. I'll tell her.
Look, I played the tape. All right. So now let's talk a little industry. First of all, we want to thank you. Zoe, put your hand up one time. Anybody else from Kingmakers Music in the building one time? Yes. My young kings, Sire and Raymond. So we had an album called Kings in the Making. Then we had an album called Revolution Remix. And then we had an album called Black Joy. And then our most recent album is called Black Love. And when we start thinking about Black Love and how we wanted to release it to the world, you know, my role is director of Kingmakers Music, so I run the label, and I just was like, every week, like, okay, LaRussell is still talking about even.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute, he talking about the metrics. I'm like, wait a minute, did this king say he looked at his data, he was in Atlanta, pulled the folks from Atlanta and said, yo, I want to do a show, and they pulled up? I'm like, Spotify don't give us this first-party data. We're not getting that from DSPs. Wait a minute, did he say this goes directly from the artist, from the fan to the artist? So what we did was, we have a distributor now. Tough Gong International is our distributor. So that's Bob Marley and Rita Marley. So we will put on DSPs, but we put it out first on Even. And I just want to thank you for that because Even is the truth.
Yeah.
Even is the truth.
Come on.
I mean, not only the fan data and that we actually see real numbers. If you all purchase it on Even today, we'll see those real numbers. We know how much people spent. We did the pay what you want, which was really, really dope, right? Some folks dropped 100 in. Some folks dropped 25 in. But the idea that we got a chance to see, well, you say you rock with us, well, we get to really see that, right? And then also it gives us an opportunity to, inside of Even, if we want to put merch up, if we want to create a chat. So first of all, thank you. Because in our first 2 weeks, we've made more on this record than all of our 3 albums combined on Even.
Right.
100, like straight up. So I want you to tell us a little bit about, and I wonder if that came from your dad, seeing him do the DVDs. Like, what was it about even the idea of like direct to consumers, move the DSPs out of the way? How did you get involved and why was that important?
It's not necessarily move the DSPs out of the way. It's just the DSPs can wait because that's infrastructure that we don't own. Why not go straight rate? And you know, I think it definitely comes from Pops and just the old way of doing business. You know, like we do Proud to Pay because my whole life I've been in the hood. And in the hood, somebody might be like, man, I ain't got 10, but let me give you 8. And it's like, I'm not going to leave with 0. I'm finna take 8.
That's right.
You feel me? And you keep on building and you do what you do. So just being, like I say, immersed in culture and taking my experiences, it may even make sense. Why not go direct? I was already going direct, hand to hand, and selling merch out my garage. People will pull up to the crib and get their merch. So it was like, why not take this online as well? This is how we should be doing it around the board. It doesn't make sense to go through someone else to sell your art to someone who wants your art. You know, it's different if they're like, oh, I'm just searching for art in general and they don't care who they find. But if someone like, no, I want LaRussell's, why would you send them somewhere else?
Y'all receive that? My young artist? Okay, I see. Really, really dope. And from Even, you have established a fan base now that's global.
Yeah.
Have you been to Europe yet? Have you been to Africa yet?
Nope.
Wow. But I'm sure it's in the plans, it's in the works.
Maybe. I'm not big on flying. You know, just going to New York, really, like, we try to minimize the amount of times we got to go just to the East Coast because, you know, I'm not the hugest fan. But maybe one day, but, you know, I really enjoy staying home. That's why I built so much infrastructure at home, and I do residencies, and I bring people from all over the world to my. It's been people from Europe and China and Africa and everywhere in the world in my backyard for shows. So I've innovated touring in a new way to where I don't necessarily have to go because they come to me.
Which I think is powerful. That's one of the things that we love about this building, Kingmakers of Oakland. We own the building, so we own the backyard. We can have our own events in this space. I will tell you, the legend KRS-One that also doesn't fly, and when he does European tours, he takes a ship. It takes him 3 weeks to, no, not 3, 12 days to get to Europe. He does his run and hop back on the ship and goes back and forth, just so you know. You know,
being on the ship 12 days is as least enjoyable as being on the plane for 14 hours for me.
You know what I'm saying?
That didn't persuade me.
Look, not at all. No, but for the non-flyers. But the backyard, this is where I wanted to take this, is that you are controlling your narrative. You are inspiring multi-generations. I saw a 5-year-old and a 50-year-old in the backyard. You gave people an opportunity to make an offer so they can determine what they think this experience would be. It's in your family's house, backyard, in the same neighborhood, on the same block where you was raised.
Yeah.
When you did the field effect, did you ever think that it would end up like it is now in terms of the backyard?
Not at all. The backyard wasn't even a thought in the bucket back in the field effect days. I didn't do. We renovated the backyard in 2022. Yeah, this is our 3rd year doing the backyard. So back then, it wasn't even a thing. I was rehearsing in the garage back then. We used to have a garage. It's funny because my first viral clips was me rehearsing in the garage. Everybody used to be like, oh, man, he in his mom's garage. And then it gravitated and moved to the backyard. So it wasn't even But that's the power of doing. I wouldn't have never even made it to the backyard if I didn't have the will to start in the garage. If I thought I was too good to be in the garage and for people to see me there, I would have never made it to the backyard.
And go even further, if you wouldn't have rhymed in your bedroom, in the closet, you wouldn't have made it to the garage, to the backyard.
You heard?
It's important because we're talking about process. LaRussell didn't just pop up, boom, now you 35 albums in, viral everywhere. It's process. So did you all receive that? We're going to open up for questions right now. We have a microphone back here, and we have a microphone back here. Kings, unless you have learned everything you need to know and you know exactly what to do, you have to have a question to ask. So we're going to ask, yes, sir.
My name is Ali David, 18, go to Oakland School for the Arts. My question was, like, like, I know you come from, like, you know, like the Bay Area, and it's, you know, it gets rough and wild and rugged out here sometimes. I just wanted to ask you, like, going through life, you know, experiencing those times, did you ever have moments of, like, wanting to, like, you know, sit down and just, like, throw it all away and just, you know, maybe, like, just, you know, live a, well, quote unquote, regular life? Or did you, like, ever just, did you have, like, this, well, obviously, but, like, did you ever just feel like that sometimes it was never going to be enough?
Definitely. Like I was saying, it took me until I got to that book to even realize that my life was of value beyond what I seen it. You know, I couldn't even see past the veil at one point. You feel me? I was just throwing it away, really. You know, like I was working towards something, but I really was just like, I was wasting a lot of my time and my effort and energy and ability because I didn't see the value that was there. You feel me? And you really got to go through these processes and build. It's different when you like a kid and you got a lot of people pouring into you and telling you what you could be, but I didn't have that. And when I was growing up, I never seen nobody famous or successful make it. So success was really like a figment of imagination, you know? So until I started really putting in work, and when I released the first project, like I said, it was kind of like a domino effect. Doors start opening where I realized, like, oh, I could actually do something, you know? But prior to that, I was just going through that journey. That's why now it's like important to that's why I show up to spaces like this so people know and understand and see, like, the possibilities is wild, is wide open. So you can't get discouraged or lose that spark about life, because that's literally what gets you to that next step.
Thank you for that. Yes, sir, King.
Yes, sir. James, you know, Selpay James, first stage.
Where I know you from, James?
707.
Yeah. I'm like, I seen you. Come on.
Yeah, on the beat. Yeah. From one Vallejo native to another, right? Seeing the process is dope as well. But also, how do you maintain keeping a level head when you have, like, the weight of the world on your shoulders? You have everybody looking up to you. What are some practices, things like that you do personally to keep you leveled?
I walk, I play pickleball, I hoop. I'm with my homies a lot, and we laugh and joke about everything. Like, we usually the ones if we go to a big studio or industry mixer or something, we the ones in the corner giggling, and everybody like, man, they kids. But it's like, that's why we thriving, because everywhere we go, I'm a child in essence, in that heart, and I never lose that spirit. I don't let nobody take that from me. And I cry. Sometimes you gotta let, like, all of that you holding in out. You feel me? Just so you can move forward and move past it. And beyond that, I got dope people around me that I'm able to distribute that weight sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, appreciate that.
Big.
Appreciate that.
We're gonna take one more question.
Not just one.
Okay,
we got. Come on,
two, three.
on.
Oh, let's get
yeah,
it. Okay.
Come on.
Hey, like, look. Who we got? We're gonna go this side, and then we'll go this side. Let's get it. Say your name loud and proud.
For sure. I go by O'Neal, also known as my artist name, TOA. And one of my questions that popped up for me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was GT Coop, where you kind of explained just, like, the process of, like, you like just went full in, did the music full time, quit your job, getting your car repoed, things like that? Like, how did you maintain to be like, okay, I'm gonna start doing this full time and still like have that support, or like even still just trying to survive? You know what I'm saying? Because the Bay is not cheap. You feel me? So still trying to live and trying to survive, it's even hard enough to do that without having no income behind you, or without having a 9-to-5, or without any of that. So how did you like really navigate to be like, all right, I'm going full in, but I'm still gonna live to take care of myself?
Man, the beautiful thing is, like, I feel like when you're doing all the right things, the universe constantly propels you. Like, when I quit my job, I had like a tax refund check. I had like $5,000 or $6,000. And it was like, all right, I'm going to use this to make the next few moves. And I remember it got me all the way to the point where I had got invited to fly out to New York to do like a session for Vivo. And right before that time, I was running low. And a lady from my job called me. Her name was Kashi, old HR manager. And she was like, you know, you got like money from your 401k saved still. You're going to probably need that check. And it was like, at one of the moments where it's like, but it ended up coming through. And I remember I had cashed a check, and this is like when you first get money, you don't even realize I had cashed a check. It was like probably like 20-something thousand, right? And I went to the bank and I turned the check in, and they like, oh yeah, it's gonna take like 7 days before you see. I was like, 7 days, you feel me? But Vivo ended up aligning like on that 7th day, 6th day. I remember we had got all the way to New York. I'm sitting outside the hotel, and I just keep checking my account. I'm like, please, you feel me? But throughout my journey, the universe kept throwing those things in the pot where every time something got low or my count in the negative, something happened, and opportunity came for me to get back in the green and for me to make a few more moves until it opened up a bit more. And you just keep rinsing and repeating. Luckily for me too, it's like I had my parents' support, so they seen what I was building because I put in so much work already. I was already doing shows and investing in myself. I had their backing because they knew what I was after. But the universe just kept on aligning it. Like when you doing all the right things, it just keeps sending you more flow. You got to go with the flow. Only when you go against it do it stop. But if you keep going into your purpose and walking, things just gonna keep happening that open that door for you.
I saw you on the History of the Bay podcast with Dregs One, and he was like, yeah, LaRussell, man, because, you know, we be taking L's out here. And you was like, yeah, a lot of lessons. And I was like, man, you just flipped that in the moment from something negative to something positive. So that made me think about that. Zoe, you have a question.
Peace, all. Zoe, blessing to be in the space with everybody. I just wanted to know, I know as an entity, as an artist in reality, you're independent, right? And I know it's very important to build your own infrastructure as an artist, as an independent artist, especially out here in the Bay Area. But at what point do you, and how do you leverage like the industry? How do you leverage a label while still keeping your independence as an artist?
This is a great question. You leverage it through building your assets. So like I flipped my whole backyard into a venue, and I've been throwing my own shows independently since 2018. In 2021, 2022, we ended up building our own ticketing platform so we could have all the data for every show we threw. I had, from 2021 to the end of last year, I think we did about 400,000 worth of ticket sales and growth. I sold probably over 20,000 tickets, $400,000. When you're able to prove what you could do, you can go into an office and say, hey, I got this asset that's worth something that I've already built. I don't need your money, but your money will help in exchange for what I'm building. I was able to go into Live Nation and ask them for $1 million. And they was like, of course, because I built it. You can do that same thing on the master side. If you building your masters, your catalog so much, I got 35 albums. We do probably like 5 or 6 million streams a month. That's $30,000 minimum off just streaming. I can go into any building and say, hey, I'm already generating this amount of money a year. I'll give y'all 5 albums if you're willing to give me this. Merchandise. I've been selling merch since 2018. You build that data in that catalog. The goal is to always build it before you go ask for it. because it's hard to ask for something that you haven't done. They just gonna look at you like, I mean, it's cool to think you will, but when you can go in there and say, I already did it, I just need your help expanding it, it's easier to go leverage it.
And then also, yeah, y'all receive that. And on another level, it makes you to be like, nah, I'm cool, and leave.
It gives you the power to walk away.
Man, the power to walk away. That's real power. That's right. Yeah. But you got to build it. I think what was key in what you said is sometimes we've built things in our minds, but you got to have the receipts of what you've actually.
And I had to learn that because early, like all of my early deal offers, I thought I was too good for without having the proven track record. Just mentally, I was like, nah, that ain't for me. But it was like, well, you haven't made this yet, so you can't really prove that. You know, but when you start building it, you get into a different position of leverage and they talk to you different. And the way you can structure a deal is completely different. Yeah. But you don't realize that until you're doing it. And that happens like with shows and everything. I think the first show I ever got paid for was $100, you know. And at that point, I knew I was worth more than $100, but I didn't have the proof to say, somebody else get, you know, you have to actually build that leverage to get your rate to a point to where it makes sense and is justifiable.
Yeah, and your rate in your backyard anyway. So,
come on.
I mean, because we know these venues, unfortunately, we don't own enough of them. And all too often, they'll call us in and try to give us the lowest amount. And then we selling, you know, it's like, wait a minute, I sold 50 tickets to help sell this thing out.
And you know what's crazy? The game is structured to where, see, with leverage, the thing is like, sometimes you have to take less to get more. I just had a call with a booking agent for Wasserman, and he was like, man, you throw your own shows. You just did this venue. How much did you make? And I told him how much I made, and he was like, man, if we would have offered you the show, you made about $7,500 more than what we would have offered, but it's not within our system. So you're not going to be able to do this fest because we didn't get the data to say you did through our system. So in some situations to where the monetary amount don't make as much sense as the opportunity it might lead to. You feel me? So you really got to stay open, which is why we do like offer-based bookings, because I'm one of those who I don't have a predetermined worth. You know, if it makes sense and it aligns, I'm going to go do it, and I'll get what comes from that. And sometimes that's not always monetary. Sometimes I lose money going to do a show, but I gain a whole base of fans and a community and a new venue that I can now access, which is worth more than the money because I can come back a second time and get the money.
And again, that's going back to that mindfulness. Zoom in, zoom out, ebb and flow. Sometimes you got to take less and go further. Sometimes you got to be strategic in your moves, and you got to be able to see what's on the other side as well, too. So, man, I could talk to you for hours. But what we going to do is, don't clap yet. This is, so we've had Master Killer from Wu-Tang. He set it off. We had DJ D Sharp, and then we're closing out season 1 with you. So it's only right if we're going to close out season 1. I got a beat over here. It's a couple microphones. It's a couple MCs in the room. So I wonder if we want to like get a little Cypher, quick little Cypher one time.
What if I said no?
You know what? I get. Will you say no? He ain't saying no. 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 So you want to sit down, but it's all love.
Yeah. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? A game plan only take you so far. Brother, do you know who you are? Yeah, I see you flossing, mobbing in the latest car. But underneath the mask, yeah, I see through it all. My energy on stills, taller than that catch a ball. Harlem Globetrotter doing tours around the world. Get into this cream, call it double chocolate swirl. We rich and we getting fit, building brick by brick, making sure all the puzzle pieces fit. Always working overtime shifts, do my best trying not to slip in the vortex of where we live. Much rather take a little trip. Get accustomed with cousins, man, they don't even trip. They know fire came to handle biz. Stay connected, ain't burning no bridge, especially if it's mutual benefit. If not, see you later, kid. You looking for me, you can find me where the paper is. The game is so not told, you gotta pay for this. You skating on thin ice, man, paper thin.
I'm not finna freestyle cause my style ain't free. I always come prepared, that's how I became me, you see? Hey. I took the stairs on my leg day. That's the only way to grow. I heard knowledge from experience, the only way to know. Up, the only way this shit gon' go. My papa was far from poor, been counting since I was 4, grinding since I was little, fascinated with bills, fascinated with women with pretty faces and grills. Days I used to chill at Tessie spot on the hill, used to talk about this life, I really did it for real. Some days it give me chills, be having me in my feels, negotiating new paper, this album fulfilled the deal. I can Joe Millie, I'm on the way. 45 minutes at the crowd, very engaged. Do you know how many days I done spent on my craft? Know how many dues I paid just to make it off rap? Know how many bills I paid, not knowing if I make it back? I do it all again, that's a fact.
Woo! Hey, hip-hop.
Make some noise for LaRussell one time. Kingmakers of Oakland, inside KOO Studios.